Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting until people tune in before we get this stream started. Do let me know if you can hear me well. Hi, Stephen Tran. Thanks for the awesome feedback. Hope you're doing a fantastic wherever you are. I'm streaming live out of Basel, Switzerland. It's been super warm lately. Really happy about that. Even though I do like the snow, I'm looking forward to sitting near. We've got like a river where you can have some drinks and stuff like that. Unfortunately, at the moment, everything's closed down. But hopefully soon we're going to be able to sit outside, have a few beers, maybe drink a coffee, work outside. At the moment, it's still not possible. So yeah, see a lot more people tuning in. 9 people. Do make sure to smash those likes. I only see 2 likes at the moment. It's a little bit sad. Let's help other people find the stream. And yeah, we're going to be probably starting at 25 past. I've got like a full packed program, pretty interesting news I'd like to share with you, some alpha gems, some charts, maybe looking where the market's going. I really like the market as it is at the moment, so that's pretty cool. You can also watch this on Twitch as I'm restreaming this on both platforms. So this is something I'm trying out. And yeah, let's see how that works. I also got a new setup, and I'll be definitely streaming a lot more from now on with my new MacBook, as it can handle streaming without a problem. But do let me know in the chat where you're from, where you're tuning in from. And it's also great if you see some familiar faces, and that is all. Yeah. Toro, making great stream. Hopefully we can see outside in your neighborhood this spring. Yeah, I'll definitely be making some videos outside. If you're not from Switzerland, then you might enjoy the nice sceneries. I'm going hiking this weekend, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So very beautiful sceneries. I feel very privileged to be here in Switzerland. I realize not many people have such beautiful mountains, such delicious cheese and chocolate. Oh, nice to have you back on the stream, Leonardo. Gunter, oh, nice. I'm not so far away from you, Kierin. Where are you at the moment, Gunter? Mikey, Netherlands here, buddy. Awesome that you joined in the stream. Hi, Kierin. Eve, testing out patience lately. Well, I've got actually a pretty fun tweet about that from, I think it's from the Cryptoverse. Stephen Cohen. And I think that's pretty cool. Gunther Munich. Do you speak German, Gunther? I guess from the name that stands for Günther. We here in Switzerland we speak Swiss German. Not sure if you already heard that. It's a little bit more difficult to understand for German speakers. They do understand a little bit, but yeah. Toro, I've been to Oosterhout and Breda years ago. I guess you're confusing Switzerland and Sweden. That's 2 different countries. I'm from the country with a lot of mountains. Unless I don't know the cities. You're from Brazil. In your opinion, now would be a good time to hold Ethereum? Or we'll be talking about that later on. It's definitely in my opinion, a good investment for the long term. Yeah. Yeah, those cities are in the Netherlands. I think you made a confusion between Switzerland and Holland. That doesn't happen so often. that Switzerland get confused with Holland. It normally gets confused with Sweden. When I was in America a few years ago, they were always saying, "Oh, that's a Swedish guy there. That's a Swedish guy." And actually, yeah, I'm not Swedish. Unfortunately, I can't speak any of the Scandinavian languages, which I think is unfortunate. Those are beautiful languages. I understand a little bit of Dutch, but that's probably because I speak German. I think Swiss German has a lot of similarities with Dutch, so that's probably one reason. Oh, thanks a lot. This is actually called La Metric. It's it's a gift that I got from a friend, and he gave it to me for passing 5K subscribers. He's being a big supporter of my channel, and yeah, really appreciate it. It shows you can actually put a lot of things that's connected to the internet, so you've got like many apps that you can use, but it's pretty awesome. You can also use it as a radio, and that's pretty awesome. And for those that haven't noticed in my streams, I think there's only one person that pointed out the Ethereum shaped plants and vases. I'm not sure if anyone else noticed it. So that's like a hidden gem in my videos to show you that. Yeah, it's on purpose. I didn't make it. I actually was walking through the store and then I got reminded from the shape of Ethereum, and then I bought. There's a second one up there, but it's not that well highlighted. And I put some plants in there. I hope they survive. I've not got. I have to always remember to spray them with water. So I just got some plants that don't actually use a lot of water. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. The pictures at the back, if you've seen them, those are from my travels in China and London. I was teaching English back in 2013, so that was pretty awesome. Do you have NFT art? I've got actually, I think I've got some NFT art on Rarible. I think I made a video at some point. Rarible. Let me actually share with you the screen so you can actually see it. I think it's on my Wallet Connect app. Bear with me as I log in. You get to see some really bad. I've got to scan it. So in case you haven't seen Rarible before, that's pretty awesome. I think I made like a few things. Yeah, I made this here, and I made this for fun. Your DeFi guide, not for sale. So yeah, I made those for fun to actually test the Rarible platform. That's the only ETH I've got. This is my domain, my Ethereum namespace domain. So yeah. What's your opinion on the ETH community being very quiet lately since the phase 0 launch? Really, I think actually it's not been too quiet. There's a lot of things actually happening behind the scene. It's just not so exciting for the broad audience. There are people working on actually there's something called a HF1 hard fork, which should bring some updates to those staking on Ethereum 2.0. And yeah, so it's a bit quiet, but things are happening. Very often they don't really talk about the main things that are happening that are not too interesting for the community, because those videos don't get a lot of views, as well as the content of the videos might be a little bit boring since it's got like a lot of technical stuff in it. I might do another Ethereum 2.0 update to share what the current standard is, what's happening, and then put everything together. There's a lot being done with optimistic Ethereum to scale on layer 2. And this Vitalik also released something for the hard fork that's supposed to happen to alleviate the slashings that currently were pretty bad, especially for staked us, for the validators on Ethereum 2.0 blockchain. Yeah, so actually let's start with the video, and I'm going to quickly give you an intro on what we're actually going to talk about. All right, in this video, we're going to probably talk a lot about some recent news, that DeFi news, Ethereum news, look at the whole cryptocurrency market as a whole, look at where we can actually go as a cryptocurrency market, what kind of market cap we can expect. At the moment, we've got around 1.5 trillion US dollar market cap, and if we compare that with the growth that we had in 2017 and maybe like extrapolate where we could go, we're going to also figure that out, as well as looking at some downwards and correction possibilities, as that is definitely something that's healthy for the market and actually could be a fantastic opportunity for you guys to snag up some cheap ETH. So let me actually check that you can see my screen. Yes, perfect. What we'll also talk about is some new releases, some DeFi stuff that you can actually try. We're going to talk about some new apps, competitor to make a DAO that's coming out. I'll also talk about some other projects that I've been looking at, some pretty interesting cross-chain swapping DeFi apps like AnySwap, which I think is pretty fantastic. So I haven't really tried out many of the other chains. I mean, you've got Phantom, you've got the Binance chain, and I think many of them at the moment are gaining a lot of traction because of the high fees in the DeFi space. So this is going to be super, super interesting. And talking about ETH not doing too much, I think this is very important to remember that we're going to have some phases of sideways trading, and then we forget where we actually came from. So back in 2020 at the beginning, if you remember, we had like $80, $90 of ETH, and at the moment people are too emotional. Like Benjamin Cohen says, ETH was $100 back in March 2020, and now people are whining that it's consolidating for a few weeks. Get your short-term memory loss issue checked out and pull up a chart for a change. So that does remind me of Dory from Nemo that has like the 10-second memory loss, but I do understand it. Our minds play games with us. At some point, your portfolio will grow. It might grow from 10K to 100K to 200K, 500K, and you get this euphoria, this dopamine rush that your portfolio has grown so much. However, it's really scary how fast you get used to this growth. And I mean, it's the same for me. I've got my portfolio and now I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's nice, but it's not moving at all. And I think you have to remember how far we've come, and don't do any rash decisions because ETH is not moving. Very often what people do, I mean, I'm also guilty of that, is when ETH and BTC is moving sideways, you tend to actually start dabbling in the shit coins and buying some super speculative assets because you're like bored of the gains that you're getting from ETH. So I think it's very important, like the main stack, your main ETH stack, your main Cardano stack, your main BTC stack, you never touch it, and you just like play with a small percentage of your portfolios in altcoins. Otherwise, you're going to lose your stack. I mean, I've got friends that just like went into the shit coins and they lost a lot of ETH valuation, like went down from 60 ETH down to 10 ETH. So you really be careful. And for those that managed to get in at 10, 20 euro, I mean, that's fantastic. Just be patient. I mean, we had a 10x growth in or even more in 2020. And in my opinion, we're going to experience the same thing in 2021. And in my opinion, it's also probably likely that the cryptocurrency market is going to top out sometime in 2022. just be patient. Just be patient. So what I also really find that is fun is don't analyze your trades too much. Don't try and do too much technical analysis. I mean, I know I do that in my videos, but I don't really do any day trading with large amounts of money, because in my opinion, the best way to invest is just buying and hodling and then having an exit strategy. But what I think is incredibly funny is that I've got some friends that have like zero clue about cryptocurrency, and they just like went onto Coinbase and bought like a bunch of tokens without really thinking about it, and they managed to get into the XLM pump. They managed to get into the not GRT, but other coin pumps, just because they had like no idea. They liked the logo. And yeah. All right, so then we're gonna look at the news. Andy Gretten, think Reef is a pump and dump. Heard anything? I'm actually, I was planning on releasing a video actually 2 days ago on Reef Finance. However, I've seen some red flags in my opinion, so I've started to dig into it a lot more deeper to figure out if those red flags are valid. And basically the red flags were some or a lot of bot accounts on Reddit creating posts making people buy. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do if I'm gonna make a video to warn people, because there's definitely a few red flags about that. So I'm gonna have to realize and think if that's FUD or not. Yeah, cryptocurrency is always risky. That's the thing, especially with lower cap coins. Adam Breezy, yeah man, had 50k Reef, sold them. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to make a video and discuss the red flags so that people are aware of it, not trying to incite any FUD or anything like that, but just make sure that people realize what kind of red flags I've discovered. Not sure if I want to dive right into this in this video, otherwise I go down the rabbit hole and we'll never get out again. But yeah. All right, so let's continue. I'll answer those questions with Poker Bridge and so on later on. So let's look at quickly at the recap, what happened last week. And I think Aave has been doing phenomenally in terms of token price and the platform as well. But I just would ease on the side of caution since they like pumped around 1000x in the last year. So I do think it's a pretty good investment, especially since the TVL of the Aave platform and the revenues that they're generating is just incredible. So that's pretty good. And as well, there's also some signs that investors are taking some profit. So it's possible that it moves sideways with a little bit of a dip. Now, MetaMask revenue proves DeFi wallets can be profitable. However, I've got some breaking news concerning MetaMask and their swap. And I think that you're going to definitely have to listen to, because it's, in my opinion, a bit scammy what they're doing. And I think it's very important that you know about it, and why I don't recommend that you use the swap feature for MetaMask. So it is no, I mean, it's not a surprise that they're doing so many fees or revenue per day due to this, in my opinion, scammy thing that they're doing. So I'll talk about that in a bit. Then you've got, of course, the NFT stuff. NBA Top Shots, 50 million in sale beats NFT heavyweights. So I think the NFT space, it's like super hyped. I haven't really understood all the hype behind it, but apparently a lot of people like are very thirsty for the NFTs that exist. I mean, I do understand the concept of NFTs, especially if they're implemented into different games. I mean, you've got like CryptoVoxes, you've got Decentraland, and hopefully other games are going to implement some kind of NFT. So then I understand the value proposition. So then you've got Equilibrium, a creating version of Curve on Polkadot, which is, this is super exciting. Equilibrium is an interoperable money market, so very similar to Aave, and that should happen on the 9th of February. Oh, that was actually announced on the 9th of February, so this is going to be super interesting. And then also super bullish news is MasterCard plans to bring crypto into its network. So following the steps of PayPal, MasterCard is going to do the same thing. So this is going to be interesting. In my opinion, it's like a double-edged sword. On one hand, you've got these giants entering the space, which I think is fantastic in the sense that a lot more people will be introduced to the world of cryptocurrency, and hopefully not only learning about the Dogo coin, which is probably the gateway drug for most people entering the cryptocurrency space at the moment. I mean, it's incredible how many people have been messaging me and telling me, it's a good time to buy now, it's a good time to buy now. And I'm like, yeah, sure, throw your whole life savings into crypto. There's nothing that could go wrong until the first 40% dip happens. But yeah, you never really know. I always say the same thing, only invest what you're willing to lose. I mean, of course, if you're young, you have to realize that you might have a higher risk tolerance. But yeah, I think it's important to realize and also think about, why are you actually entering the space? Are you going out because you saw these massive green dildos popping up left and right? Yeah, what's the reason? Is it greed? Because many people are fueled by greed. Other people are fueled by making money. I mean, I think that makes sense, but they're also fueled by the technology and the idea of decentralization. They're sick about the traditional system. They want to actually be able to invest and become venture capitalist with $100, and that's possible in the DeFi space. Well, maybe not with Ethereum at the moment with its gas fees, but it's still better than the other opportunities that you've got. I mean, keeping your money on your bank just doesn't make sense at the moment. I'm not sure if you are affected by that, but here in Switzerland, if you've got a UBS account, UBS is like this famous Swiss bank. Well, basically, if you've got more than 250,000 Swiss francs on that account, you're paying negative. You're paying a negative amount. What's it called again? I forgot the word. Negative yield, basically. Negative yield on more than 250,000 Swiss francs. So that means anyone with so much money is going to look for an opportunity to not lose money on his cash. And that's probably a reason why all of these institutions are entering the cryptocurrency space, because their money is losing so fast in value. It's like an ice block. Adam Breezy, BNB is up $150 right now. I think it can hit 500 this year. You know what I think is really crazy is that I actually put BNB. I believe my price prediction for this year was $100. I mean, it was so low. I think it was on the 31st of December. I placed a few price predictions, and I made a video, 5 coins for incredible wealth, on my channel. So let me look at the channel. It actually was on... When did I post that? Here I did. And I think this one was pretty cool, because I actually said that BNB should be $100. I never expected it to get to $100 this fast. So that's pretty cool. Now, $500 it's definitely possible. I think it's a little bit of a stretch, but let's see what the market cap at the moment is for BNB. Binance coin, fully diluted valuation 28 billion, and market cap is 23 billion. So this is definitely a lot more potential to grow, especially with the Binance chain and everything else that they're doing. However, the thing is, 500, that would be a 5x. That would place them at around $100 billion market cap. 5x possible. Gonna have to see if it goes on the same path that it's been going since the beginning of the year. If we look at the beginning of the year, let's look at 30 days, incredible growth. And the crazy thing is that BNB on its own is not like a super sexy investment. I remember like having some BNB, a lot of BNB at $1 or $2 back in 2000, and I think when they launched it, 2017. and I even thought about buying it, but yeah. So yeah, it's incredible if people manage to snag up a lot of BNB at those prices. They've got a nice 3x now. Yeah, at the beginning of the year, around $40, maybe sub $40 was possible for BNB, and now a 3x. So I think another move like this, another 2 to 3x is definitely possible. $200, $300. The thing is, BNB with the Binance chain, it's definitely pretty lucrative as an investment, because a lot of traders are going to be buying it in order to reduce their fees, and Binance is also pushing it, pushing the Binance chain. It's like shilling it hard. I've got an interesting coin I'd like to share with you later on. I think it's got similar potential to Binance, because it's another platform and it offers very similar rewards to traders, or basically incentives to hold that coin. But I'll come to that later on. Let's jump ahead and actually start looking quickly at the charts, because I've been talking way too much. Yeah, so at the moment we've got a 1.5 trillion US dollar cryptocurrency market cap. So that's fantastic. Pretty happy about that. And what I think is interesting is if we look at this on the weekly, I talked about this yesterday, but I had some issues with my video and screen capture. So I think this is interesting. If we look at the 2015 to 2017 rally, we actually did the 35x from the bottom to the top. I think what would be interesting is to look at where that would place us in terms of market capitalization at the top of this bull run, and that would place us at a market cap of 3.2 trillion US dollars. So still a 2x up from here. Yeah, it's probably not as exciting as it seems, but in my opinion, it's still pretty good. I think it's also possible that we have a much larger growth. So if we actually place the bottom at 104 billion, 35x would actually place us near the 4 trillion, so 3.8 trillion US dollar market cap. The only thing is, the question is, at that time we didn't have institutional investors, and now we're starting to have institutional investors. So it's definitely possible that this is not going to be the same as last year. I mean, if you look at the .com bubble, let's look at the .com. Like this, it's actually quite interesting. I think it's possible that the 2017 bull run is comparable with the .com bubble. So here, let's see if we can find the .com bubble. Basically, this is January 2014 rally. And I think that would be the best comparison to see like how massive we can actually grow compared to the 2017 bull run and then the 2020. So that's pretty cool. So in my opinion, we've still got a lot of way up. However, I think it's also possible that we have a slight correction to the previous cryptocurrency market top, which would be 747 billion. That would be a more or less 40-50% correction from the current price, and I think we're probably gonna reach maybe this 1 trillion US dollar market cap as a support and bounce back there. Yeah. Total Bitcoin bubble will pop at 200k and drop to 60k. Well, I mean, that's a good prediction. What are you basing that on? Is that STF? And for ETH, I think we're still waiting. I think there's going to be a massive explosion on ETH, and I think you have to just be patient at the moment. I think it might also be wise if you want to try and get some positions. I think entering as soon as we break above the $1,866 resistance, I think we're going to have like a massive candle. So I've got my alert placed here on ETH USD. So ETH is definitely not doing so much at the moment, especially because Bitcoin is trading. No, it's actually pumping a lot. Bitcoin is pumping a lot, and ETH is tackling this massive resistance. So this is definitely for if you want to do like a short trade or not. I think you'd have to wait and see if we manage to break past this. And if we manage to break past this, $2,000 is going to be doozy. It's definitely a larger psychological resistance. But since we've been trying and testing this resistance so much, I think we're just going to skyrocket past. And yeah, I did actually show this yesterday. And I think it's possible that we have a similar move as we did when we actually passed the $670 resistance. That was a strong one. So I think we're going to have a similar move, and that would actually place us then at 2,900, nearly 3K per coin. So that would be pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I'm happy about that, especially if that happens at the end of February. I know I tried and predicted the price to be 2K at the end of February. But yeah, I'm not sure. It's going to be a tight one. It's going to be super tight to reach that. But excited about it. There's a lot more volume coming in, so this is pretty good. I definitely want to see a lot more volume coming in when we break this resistance, and that's like a confirmation of the break as well as then a candle close above this resistance. That's going to be awesome. 2x from the 2017 all-time high. Yeah, that would be awesome, but I think that was just going to be our next step. I don't think this is going to be a decisive price where we go back down. I think it's just going to be a next step where we continue such a sideways movement and move for a while at the same price point. And then we're going to have to see if we're going to manage to break the next resistance and then move upwards. Yeah. ADA's been moving sideways as well. I think the fundamentals are pretty good. I think it's fine for it to move sideways since it had like a massive run. And I think this is going to be pretty interesting, this when it breaks this downwards line on the 4-hour time frame with a lot more volume. Breaking above this is going to be a pretty bullish sign. So me personally, I've got quite a lot of ADA, Cardano. I'm really hyped about all of the updates they're bringing. And I'm not going to be selling anytime soon, especially because of the 5%, 6% staking rewards that you get. I think that's pretty awesome. Pretty good passive income. Andy Grayton, HBAR or VE. I think VeChain has got some pretty good fundamentals. I mean, it's had a massive run back in 2020. That was fantastic. Let's look at the current chart at the moment. So I think VE has a very similar price action to Cardano. So this is going to be interesting. It's got this downwards trend at the moment, and we're going to have to see if it breaks past. So very often when BTC is trending upwards, the altcoins lose in value in USD as well as in BTC valuation, and that's something normal. So I think this is pretty interesting on the 4-hour. We're going to have a MACD cross hopefully soon, and that's when we're going to break out. But it's going to have to hold this resistance, this support, sorry. If we look at the 1 week, I think that's always important. I think this is pretty awesome. We actually managed to break above the 2 cents from the 23rd of July 2018. So yeah. Luis Valencia, which Binance Smart Chain DeFi projects is your favorite? Sorry, I cannot answer that question. I have no clue at the moment. I still have to look at most of the Binance Smart Chain projects. I've looked at it a little bit, and many of them look like copy pasta from the Ethereum blockchain. I mean, Binance got so much funds there, like throwing so much money onto Binance Smart Chain, copying Ethereum projects, and I don't know. I think it's going to be a tough sell because Binance is like a centralized entity, and they're trying to move into the DeFi space. So it's going to be a tough sell. I think people are going to flock definitely a little bit to the Binance chain because of the super high fees. But yeah, I'm gonna have to. I've looked a bit at Poker Bridge. It does look pretty interesting, but I'm gonna have to look at it much more in depth. Yeah, sorry, I can't give you much more input on that at the moment. BTC USD, that's pretty awesome. Broke past the 50K, and I've got one other chart I'd like to share with you, and I think that's pretty awesome with BTC. But I think what is also great is if you look here at this downwards trend on the RSI, actually broke past. I know this is like super small, hopefully you can see it, and it actually, the RSI broke past this downwards trend, and this is actually super bullish. What I'm actually looking forward to is the 53,000 US dollar range, because that would mean that BTC is then a 1 trillion US dollar market cap. And I think that's fantastic. I mean, I've been talking about that quite a bit. The 1 trillion US dollar market cap is a massive milestone for any cryptocurrency. Super happy that Bitcoin is the first one to break past that soon. I mean, it's only a question of a few $1,000s. So 53,000 means a 1 trillion US dollar market. I mean, yeah, imagine that. BTC has soon 1 trillion US dollars, and the whole cryptocurrency market is 1.5 trillion US dollars. So there's so much potential for growth. I mean, you guys, if you're not already aware of it, but you guys are like super early, especially if you've been in since 2018, 19, 20. I mean, you guys are super early. Make sure you don't take your profits too soon. Definitely do take some profits, but don't take them too soon, because I think it's very difficult to anticipate how massive the cryptocurrency space is going to be in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years time. I mean, those that are super patient are going to reap the benefits, and it's definitely going to be scary. It's very difficult to make massive amounts of gains, because as soon as you do, you're going to be scared that you're going to lose those gains super fast. So this chart that I wanted to share with you is actually for BTC, and I was comparing it with the 1 trillion US dollar market cap. I think this is pretty cool, is that at $70K, BTC is going to be above the silver market cap, which is 1.5 trillion. So that's pretty awesome, and that's not even that far away. 71,000 US dollar BTC is then above the 1.5 trillion US dollar market cap. Pretty awesome indeed. I mean, it's on its way to overtake gold. Definitely a long way away, but it's on a good path. It's on a good path. It's going to have its swings and volatility, but I mean, yeah, I remember when BTC was at $250. Unfortunately, I didn't buy enough to buy a yacht at the moment. So it's pretty fun. I definitely wasted a lot of BTC on stuff that I didn't need. I think I bought a VPN subscription for like 0.3 BTC or something like that. So a lot of money. So now let's quickly talk about MetaMask. And I think this is super important for you guys. If you're already using MetaMask, do not use the swap function, in my opinion, until they change that. It's exploitive feature, and they profit from the naivety of the users. So I do have MetaMask installed, but I rarely use it. I don't really like the interface too much. Some people really like using it. I don't know why. But I think the problem is that they're actually charging a super high fee for their swaps. So how much is the fee? And you get wrecked. A service fee of 0.875% is automatically factored into each quote. That's super high, which supports ongoing development to make MetaMask even better. So for every trade that you're doing, it's actually 0.875%. And that's without the Uniswap fee. So if you're trading on Uniswap, you're going to have a 0.3% Uniswap fee. However, the 0.3% is only if you're trading between ETH and an ERC20 token. If you're trading between ERC20 and ERC20, you're going to have 0.6% because you pay 0.3% per pool, in case you weren't aware of that. So with 0.3%, you're going to have a 1.175% per trade. And if you're swapping two ERC20 tokens with each other, you're going to have a 1.475% per trade. So pretty high, pretty high. Kind of competing with Coinbase with those rates. Not great at all, especially if that is not clear. And it's not everything. There's a few other things that I think is really bad for the user. And that is, so the gas fees and the way that they handle the transactions is really bad. So in my opinion, other DEXs to use are 1inch.exchange, as well as I think the best option is to use Uniswap and 1inch.exchange. Yeah, just use those, because using this swap feature from MetaMask, you have to pay this 1.175% per trade. If you use Uniswap, you're only going to pay this 0.3%. It's possible that they do it. It's not clear. I'm definitely turned off by this massive fee. So yeah, 1inch.exchange and Uniswap at the moment. You can also try Loopring, but the liquidity is not that great. And also they've got some shady blacklisting practices, so some websites are blacklisted. I'm not too familiar if those websites that are blacklisted are scams. Yeah. The MetaSwap contract is not open source, so I think that's a bit of a red flag. I don't like that, because you never really know what can happen if I mean, it's supposed to be audited. I think it is audited. Consensus Diligence may have done an audit, but it's still closed, so you can't really look at what they're actually doing behind the scene. And then this is also pretty bad. All your trades are stored in a backend plain text, so someone with just a bot and they can actually plug in the MetaMask API and can get all of the information on what kind of trades you're doing. And this is pretty bad. This is not good. OPSEC. So if you're like in the DeFi security aspect of things, this is definitely a no-no on how you would do it. So if you would open that up, you can get some really bad text and look at everything that has been done, what kind of trades and what kind of wallets and so on. So I think this is really bad that this is all stored in their API. Furthermore, this is the last one, and that is the gas pricing has zero documentation or visibility into how it's calculated. And in my opinion, they are just using this to either extract some more funds from the users, or it's just really badly implemented. So you can actually look at the current gas price for MetaMask and what they estimate that the gas price should be. So if we actually open this up, I already did, you can actually see here, let's refresh this, the safe gas price is 165, proposed gas price is 203, and fast gas price is 209. And if we look at the ETH gas station, as you can see, this is interesting. So their safe gas price is 165. So that's like super high compared to the standard, which is 135. Their proposed gas price is 203. And their fast gas price is 209. So it's interesting that it just doesn't correlate with the current gas prices from ETH gas station, and they're pretty good. They've got pretty good sources for their gas prices. So I think it's interesting that the MetaSwap gas prices deviate so much from this average. Pretty strange, if you ask me. Let's see if they're going to change something, if there's enough backlash. But very often they're just going to probably let it be, and they're going to reap the fees. Definitely not great for the community. Luis Valencia, I need to move my money out of it, but those fees are ridiculous. I agree with you completely. It's tough at the moment, especially if you've got like less than $1,000 at the moment. The fees are terrible. It's, I guess, maybe the best way to hodl because you don't really want to move your funds, so you end up hodling them for 2 years until Ethereum 2.0 has launched. So what I recommend you doing if you're new to DeFi and you haven't already tested all of the great DeFi things is try DeFi.instadap compound. What you can actually do here is you can actually play with this using a kind of a testing playground. So you click on this and then you can actually test drive the Instadap platform. And I think this is pretty interesting because it gives you a bit of an idea on what you can actually do. And you actually get some information on how you can start. So you can just click on create account, then click on try simulation. So you're testing the Instadap without having to try and pay massive amounts of fees. It's just about understanding how collateralization works and so on. So this Instadap feature actually taps into many different protocols. So you can use many different protocols from within Instadap. So I think it's a pretty awesome feature, and also even better that you can actually try it out, not using your real ETH, but using test ETH. And I definitely recommend that you do that because you can learn about Aave, you can learn about Compound, Maker, and so on. So what you just have to do is you click on the create account, and I believe I'm logged in, and then you can just click on try in simulation mode. The application is running in simulation mode, acknowledged. And then what you can do is actually start doing a lot of stuff. So you can actually click on your account. This is like a fake account with fake ETH. And I can actually do a few things. Let me see if I can actually do something here. I should have some ETH, so I can maybe supply ETH. Let's see, I would have to deposit this ETH from my account dashboard. Let me see if I can find this. Let's create yeah, I'm not sure right now where my ETH doesn't show up. Never mind. I think I can actually deposit. I was using it before, but it looks a lot different when I've got my browser squished like this. It's a bit unfortunate. Yeah. Just try it out. I think it's pretty cool. I don't think I have any time at the moment to go through the whole application, but I think I just wanted to share with you. You can try this out. You just have to have MetaMask connected, even though I said all those things about MetaMask before. Talking about some pretty cool new platform that's released, and that is Rai. And basically this is very similar to MakerDAO, and Rai is an open source money god, as they call themselves, recognizes control as a liability. And basically what they want to do is become an independent, stable global reserve asset and unit of account. And they're creating this Rai token. So a fork of MakerDAO's multi-collateral DAI on the Ethereum mainnet. Rai is an asset backed only by ETH, governance minimized and programmed to maintain its own price stability without needing to peg to an external price reference like the USD. So it's very similar to MakerDAO, just with like some algorithmic stablecoin properties. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to be following this, as it definitely does sound very interesting. I think it's good that we have some other competitors in the space. I think it's good that companies are forking other projects and adding their own twist to it. It adds a lot more flavor into the space and gives people more opportunities, other stable coins to be used, because stable coins are fantastic, really great. So you can actually check it out if you want on app.reflexive finance. At the moment, it's a bit annoying because to create an account, you have to pay quite a bit of fees. So I'll see about making a video on this, but I think it's good to actually just be in the know that this is a new project. We just created it. You can look at the statistics of the amount of ETH locked, the annual borrow rate. It's pretty low at the moment, but it's probably going to go up and definitely going to grow. So I think this is something to keep an eye upon. Davis F. West, I currently own around $1,000 worth of crypto. Only just started and I can invest around $100 per month. How many coins would you suggest to invest in? I hold other Atom V chain right now. I think a good rule of thumb is go from safe to less safe coins in that order, and a higher portion of your portfolio should be invested in safer coins, those that have a good historical growth. So you've got BTC, ETH, ADA. Of course, ADA is not as safe as ETH, since they've still got a lot of progression to make. They've still got a lot of things to update. They're not as far as ETH in terms of their smart contracts and things that they've implemented on the platform. But yeah, if you look at the top coins, I definitely recommend sticking with the most important ones, just to be safe, and just dollar cost averaging and buying. I mean, you're definitely not buying at super low prices. So just be prepared to buy some more dollar cost average when there's a dip, as that might be your best opportunity to get some super cheap prices. So like Black Friday happens from time to time again when you got like 40% correction. So that would be awesome. Andy Gradden, but bigger gains, yes and no. What the problem is with bigger gains is that it's a fallacy, and it works sometimes, and it works really well for some people, and it works terribly for other people. Let me tell you a story. I've got two friends. One of them invested like shit tons of money into XRP, and another friend actually bought some other tokens, and their performance, the portfolio performance over the last year has just been terrible. And that's because they decided to go the super risky strategy and take one single coin, go either all in or maybe choose a low cap coin because it's got the potential for 1000x. And me personally, I'm not looking for the biggest gains. I'm looking for the most safe gains. I'm super happy with like 200% per year. I mean, like, you have to keep in mind that in the traditional financial world, having 10% per year is like crazy high. Having 100% per year in the crypto space, I mean, it's ludicrous. So I think you shouldn't be blinded by greed. You should actually think about it long term. Think about trying to get the best possible, safest way possible gains over the next 5 years, 10 years. I mean, if you're getting 200% per year, I mean, that's fantastic. And you can do that consistently year after year after year. I mean, yeah, then you're winning at the game. I mean, if you get 200%, that's fantastic. I mean, since I started, I'm at, I think, 12x on my portfolio. And I didn't go the risky strategy. I bought ETH, I bought Cardano, I bought, yeah. So I think you also should look at the Sharpie ratio, because that's really important at the moment. ETH, Cardano, ADA, they've got a really good Sharpie ratio. And that's basically what Mega Zord is talking about, the risk return analysis book. Haven't read the book, but I think it goes into the same direction with this Sharpie ratio and basically talking about risk and profit. How much risk are you willing to take for how much profit? And basically the idea here is that you should have a bit of risk and max profit, and not like super high risk and then you get 1000x. Yeah. All right. Luis Valencia, Bitcoin and ETH are the safe. Definitely. I mean, yeah, I mean, seriously, BTC alone has done like incredible gains in the last year. And the other thing is, on the long term, most altcoins just don't perform as well as BTC and ETH. You've got some outliers. But yeah, BTC and ETH have been like the main horses to bet upon. Others got lucky and they managed to do 100x, 1000x. The question is, are you going to manage to take the profit soon enough? Yeah. I think one platform I'd like to talk about, I think that's pretty cool, and this is probably also going to grow quite a lot, and that's posted by Under the Corner, so that definitely gives this platform quite a lot of credibility, and that's AnySwap. And basically, AnySwap is allows for cross-chain transfers, pretty low if you ask me, $5.62. So basically, you can actually sell ETH for wrapped ETH, but you can also use different mainnets. So you've got the Phantom mainnet. You can also actually solve some problems with on ramping BTC onto other chains, so ETH. So this is super interesting. Andy Grayton, Biden is going to solve XRP problem. Why? Because the need to say to Americans, crypto is the next thing, and we're going to support you. Yeah, I think Biden's new paper, blockchain paper, is fantastic. I'm going to make a video on that because I think it's really interesting. And there he's trying to move America into a country that supports cryptocurrencies. I think that's pretty good. The thing is with XRP, I mean, I'm not going to hate on it or anything like that. It's just at the moment there's too many uncertainties. I think the SEC stuff is probably not going to be solved anytime soon, probably sometime in June, July. I'm not saying that the coin won't pump because very often things happen that you don't really expect to happen. So I'm not going to say that the outcome is definitely going to be doomed, but it's just too much uncertainty, and I think it's very difficult to deal with so much uncertainty. You can't really focus on the fundamentals that should bring the project forward, like all the intra-banking stuff that they're trying to implement. Megazord, I've made some calculations some weeks ago, and for only BTC and ETH, it's 96.81%, BTC 3.19%, and 3.19% even. Oh, that's pretty interesting. So you only got what, 3.19% ETH? That's pretty low. Pretty low, but I guess, I mean, in the end, as long as you're in the profit, that's pretty awesome. 54.41 expected return. So your return for 2020 is expected to be 54.41%. Have I understood that correct? Have you already looked at Messari Sharpie? I think that's pretty cool. I recommend looking at this. This is a little bit more complicated topic, but this is pretty awesome. You can actually look at the Sharpie ratio here at the back, and this calculation is for different assets. For example, here you've got 30-day, 90-day, and 1 year. So the higher the Sharpie ratio, the better is. I think the top one is value chain. I have no clue what that is. Yeah, so you can actually look at this. This is pretty cool, and you can look at the most important one. So Megazord, if you don't already know this, I recommend that you try this out. I think this is pretty awesome. I think Miss Aria has got like a lot of awesome features, and yeah, I'm a big fan of the Sharpie ratio because I think it's the best way to actually plot the profit risk. And I think not many other people are on YouTube that I've seen have talked a lot about this. And also in the traditional financial world, many people are saying, "Oh, but there's too much risk," but they never really look at the profit. Yeah, so definitely recommend looking at. So let's look at the Sharpie ratio of Bitcoin. I'm not sure. Here is Bitcoin. See our metrics. I think here you can get also a lot of other metrics for different cryptocurrency. You've got like the market data, market cap, and you've also got a lot of on-chain information, which I think is fantastic. So for example, median transaction volume, fees, exchange flows, mining stats. So if you don't already know all this on Messari, I think it's a fantastic platform. It's freely used. They've got some pretty good premium features, but I think the free features are pretty awesome. I need to learn some coding. Yeah, definitely. I found a pretty awesome course on Udemy for Solidity if you're interested in programming some smart contracts. But yeah, it's probably not easy to implement correct smart contracts without that they get hacked. So let me quickly talk to you about the platform that I think has a lot of potential. I mean, it's already pretty big, and that's FTX. If you're not already familiar with FTX, it's basically a trading platform that allows you also to trade some tokenized stocks, some perpetual swaps, also predictions. So you've got like the US election prediction market, which is pretty interesting. So you've got many different stuff on here. You can also look at the different stocks that they've got. So it's all based on blockchain. So I think this is fantastic. So it's a DeFi app. And you can participate in futures, spots, stocks, leverage tokens. If you want to go long on a token, but you don't really want to do it on a platform, you can buy these leverage tokens. It's very similar to Binance. Volatility, roller coaster. This is pretty interesting. It's basically betting on the volatility of a coin. Haven't really tried this out too much. Prediction markets, fiat transfer and staking. But what I think is pretty awesome about the FTX platform is this FTT token, because it reminds me a lot of BNB. So it's definitely not got the smallest market cap. So it's got a market cap of $2 billion. And they've got a very similar rebate system as Binance. So when you hold these tokens, you can actually benefit from FTX trading fees. So this is pretty cool. And I believe it's possible that FTT token actually increases a lot in price, just because the same thing happened with Binance. I mean, Binance token also gives users a lot of trading fee rebates when you hold the token. So there's definitely a massive incentive there. And if we look at it on TradingView, it's actually been pumping quite a lot. So there's massive amounts of volume for this FTT token. It's currently trading at $23. So should they increase by a lot, especially in the network effect, people will start using that platform a lot more. Then I'm pretty sure they're going to be buying this FTT token, because it just reduces the trading fees. It's like a no-brainer. So yeah, I'll probably be buying a little bit of those just to see if it works out. It's just like very, very small amount, definitely not like going all in or anything like that. But I just wanted to share with you something that I have been looking at and I thought was pretty interesting. So yeah, so I think this is actually, if you've got any questions, do let me know. I'll answer or look at some coins if you've got some questions. It can be about anything. I've got some pretty cool ideas for upcoming videos, but if you've got ideas, do let me know if you've got something you'd like me to talk about. I'll definitely be streaming a lot more. If you've got some ideas on what I could talk about during the stream and so on, share with me. I want to be inspired. Great. So let's see how many people are on the stream at the moment. 19. Awesome. This is pretty good. This is a lot of fun doing these streams. And I think Theta is pretty cool. Theta, I've actually done a review on Theta, or a short review. let's quickly look at the current price. It's got a pretty good market cap. News bites, you like news bites? That's good. I'll definitely do a lot more of news bites, keeping it simple, saying what it actually has for an impact on the market. And I think people like that. It maybe helps also controlling your emotions in the cryptocurrency space, making sure that you're not FOMOing into coins, you're not um, like selling when it dumps just a little bit. Yeah. Theta Network, $3.53. Thoughts on 0x? Is it the bull that will run also year of the bull? Yeah, I think definitely Chinese year of the bull. In my opinion, it would be pretty fun if this is definitely correlated to the Chinese symbols. I mean, on one hand, you might have everyone that's thinking that it's the bull run because you've got the year of the bull and then people just buy automatically. So it'd be interesting to see if there's a correlation, if someone could make a correlation between all of the symbols and figure out if there is actually a correlation and people just start buying a lot of tokens and assets, be it stock or cryptocurrencies, and just because of that, it would be pretty fun to figure that out. I'll look and see if there's actually a correlation. I'm pretty sure someone already did something like that. Yeah. Let's quickly look at Theta. I definitely have to make a what is it actually? Tetatoken.org. So I'm going to be interested to see if I can also start doing some more videos on Theta. I'm not sure if it's available for the public. That's been interesting. So now I'm also streaming on Twitch. So maybe if I can use the restream, I can also try and stream on Theta. That would be quite interesting. Yes, sorry, that's not muted. So there's quite a few people here. Not a lot of people watching, but yeah, that's quite interesting. Yeah, so this looks pretty interesting. It's always actually turning the video on. I'm not sure why. It's switching videos. So this actually looks good. I think I'll be definitely doing a much more in-depth video about the Theta network, about the T-Fuel and everything, and review it as a platform. And then maybe look at seeing if I can also start streaming there, because that would be quite interesting to see if I can stream and people could earn these tokens by just watching the stream. That would be pretty cool. So quickly, let's look at the Theta token, how that actually performed. I think it had a pretty massive pump. Theta USDT. I think I bought some at 70 cents. Yeah, it's now at $3.53. Oh, that's pretty cool. $3.53. So definitely a massive increase. I think I bought some around, yeah, sometime in September. That was a pretty good. Here you had like a bit of a fake out where it went down, but then it continued growing. So that's pretty cool. I think it's good that YouTube is getting a bit of a competitor. So you've got also the T-Fuel, and that's now at 0.05. I believe this is the token that the users get for watching videos. I'm not sure what you can do with that. It's going to be interesting to see that. We go back on Theta Network or white paper. And it's not such a long one. All right, let's ignore this. Video streaming market. So the video streaming market is going to be massive. It's growing so fast. People are unplugging from TV and just moving to streaming. Gear optimized tracker, blah 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 blah. So this is also going to be cool to having the users pay probably in this market, like having a complete market inside of Theta. Microservice, double spending detection, resource-oriented micropayment pool. I was actually looking for something else, but I can't really find what I was looking for. Scaling thousands of guardians. I think definitely the nodes is going to be the biggest thing. Yeah. Who's your crypto have literally a truckload of tether gas and accumulating tether. So did I understand that correctly? This tether gas, is that the T-Fuel or is that another other one? Like I said, I'm not too familiar with Theta network. I'm gonna have to do a lot more research. Hopefully soon I can actually be doing this full time. I actually quit my job and be doing this full time starting at the beginning of May. So yeah, definitely going to be streaming a lot more and making a lot more videos. Do they have the gas? Do they have like gas? The roadmap is going to be interesting to look at. Yeah, that's the TNT20. I think one subscriber already talked about. So that's the Theta Network token. Theta's gas token. So it's T-Fuel basically. I was looking for something called gas, but that was what I was looking at before. So T-Fuel, so you call it the gas token. It's probably basically a gas token. What's the market cap? Circulating supply 5 billion. Market cap is only 313 million, so pretty low. That's pretty cool, and it's definitely been pumping quite a bit. Yeah, definitely a good thing to look at. Definitely a good thing to look at. All right, Crazy for Crypto is very keen on Theta. I'm not actually sure I'm familiar with. Is that a YouTuber? Crazy for Crypto? Don't know him. Ah, yeah, I know him. Yeah, 43K. I think I watched a few of his videos back in 2018. I should do an interview with a few other cryptocurrency YouTubers. Pretty interesting to get their insights on stuff. Gonna try and figure out if I can get some interviews. So that would be pretty awesome if I could get a plug. But also, I'm pretty sure that other people would really acknowledge and appreciate having some conversations. I think that would be pretty cool, just to have some conversations, streaming those conversations. I'm sure a lot of value could be taken from those conversations because I'm sure many of these other cryptocurrency YouTubers have a lot of knowledge to share, and yeah. So I guess you see now what is in my recommendations. All right. If you want some really awesome tunes to listen to in the evening, definitely listen to Coccolino Deep. He's got very awesome tunes. Yeah. Pure chill wave. Ambient is also really awesome. All right, guys, this is it. I'm going to close the stream. It was really a lot of fun talking to you guys, and hope you got some insights, some tidbits. I'll be catching up with you very soon, making a video and hopefully streaming very soon. So I think I'll be streaming on Friday or Saturday. I'm going to have to look at that. I'll post it on Twitter. So definitely make sure that you're following me on Twitter if you want to stay up to date. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.